Well, hello. Welcome to 12 Days of TMC. We are day 2 of 12 Days of TMC, and we are so excited that everyone is here. Thank you so much for being here. We are kicking off day 2 with a preferred partner lightning showcase. We have 5 of our preferred partners that we're going to be spotlighting today. We have the Rule Tool, iEmergent, Optimize, True, and SnapDocs. Each of these preferred partners is going to have 10 minutes in order to present to you and then answer any questions that you may have. So we really do want this to be interactive. Please feel free to drop your questions or your comments in the Q&A or the chat, and we'll be reading those out to each of our presenters after their 10 minutes or within their 10-minute section. Want to tell you that we've got a full line of programming for you today, and we are super excited that you're here. Also, something that we're going to be doing at the end of each of these presentations, just for being here, a present for your presence. We're going to be giving away a $100 Amazon gift card at the end of each 10-minute presentation to one lucky lender in the group. So that is $500 that you could possibly win just for tuning in today. So if there's somebody that you may know, text them and tell them they probably want to call in to this session. Do appreciate you guys being here, and want to introduce our first company. We've got the Rule Tool with Take 3 Technology, and they will be giving us All I Want for Christmas is the Rule Tool. Oh, by the way, I am Tony Bramley, the Director of Business Development here, and really are thankful that you're here. So Tom, if you want to start up the Rule Tool, we'll get started.
Hello, TMC family. We're excited to be here today to show you the Rule Tool, an incredibly powerful tool for your loan officers. The Rule Tool allows you to easily search agency rules, investor overlays, and QM jumbo outliers. Let me show you how the tool works. When it comes to agency loans, finding what you're looking for can be time-consuming. With the Rule Tool, you select an agency, then choose from the keyword dropdown, or enter a keyword into the search box. Here's everything you need to know. Plus, there's a helpful tip at the bottom from one of our knowledge experts. To see this information directly from the agency's guidelines, click the links at the bottom. Additionally, investors and bond overlays can be found by expanding this waterfall. The Rule Tool even allows your company to add your guidance on specific rules. In the upper left-hand corner, there are similar keywords that I could have used to find this information. There is also a print function available. Now I can return to my search results or start a new search. Rules are studied daily and updated when applicable. Those updates can be found on the left-hand column. Above these updates is our optional deal scenario chat, where users can pose questions with other users of the Rule Tool. Existing users love our new feature for finding jumbo outliers. What's an outlier? It's any guideline that's not consistent with the agencies. Missing one of these slight variations can be incredibly expensive and frustrating for yourself and your borrowers. I'm going to select JP Morgan, then Truist, which is going to auto-populate all the outliers. Now I can narrow down the information by removing categories. Just like that. I know that because my borrower has a manufactured home, this loan isn't going to work with Chase. So, there's how the tool works. Now let's discuss why loan officers and the C-suite love the Rule Tool. Loan officers and brokers, you're going to have a handful of benefits. The Rule Tool is going to provide instant access to guidelines 24/7, 365. Sites like Expedia make finding flights easy. Well, the Rule Tool makes finding guidelines easy. We give you organized data in seconds. This tool is on the cloud and mobile-friendly, so you can access the information you need from anywhere. To all the owners and branch managers, this isn't just going to benefit your loan officer team, it also benefits you. We all know the cost to produce is a big deal. The Rule Tool will assist or replace staff updating guidelines for you today. You will also decrease inquiries to your underwriting department, which is going to increase your underwriters' and processors' productivity. Loan officers can also avoid missing a guideline when locking best effort on agency and jumbo loans. Finally, our team checks for updates daily, and changes are validated by 2 knowledge experts to ensure quality. As TMC members, you're able to access this tool for just $17 a month. Company accounts not only reduce this cost based on the number of users, but again gives you access to our Jumbo Outlier feature as well. Thank you for attending today. Now, I'll turn it over to Rhonda to answer a few questions. Rhonda? Hello, TMC family.
Hi, everyone. Hope you enjoyed our little demo of the Rule Tool. What questions do you have for me today? I'm going to open it up for questions anyway.
Yeah. I don't see any questions, but Rhonda, do you want to tell us a little bit about how the Rule Tool updates? So it says that it's updated on a daily basis.
That's true. So
there's a team.
Yep. So we actually check the agency's websites for new bulletins or new updates to the selling guides on a daily basis. And basically, if changes are found or a new bulletin is posted, that bulletin and or change is reviewed by a knowledge expert, and updates are made to the Rule Tool, which are then reviewed by a second knowledge expert, and then we post. So it's important, obviously, that the data is current. What underwriting managers for companies that use the Rule Tool tell us is, I love the Rule Tool because it cuts down on the questions to my team, but I hate the Rule Tool because the loan officers use it to bust my chops. By that is that, the Rule Tool forces the underwriting team to be consistent, because they basically, the loan officer knows what the rule is. They understand it. It's not hard for the loan officer to find the information. They can get to it on their mobile app. I've had Rule Tool users report that they were on the golf course on the weekend and a realtor called them and they had this customer with this situation and they were able to get the answer instantly. So making it really easy to find information really has improved the quality on the front end, as opposed to waiting until that loan gets to underwriting and then everything's falling apart because someone didn't know the rule or they didn't understand what they needed to know. And being able to access those investor overlays is also invaluable. How much time do your team spend going from website to website to website to go find the information that they need? So, our goal was to give back to the industry by basically organizing information in one place and helping out with tips on what that underwriter is going to be looking for when they're looking at your file, and making it really easy to find information. And then the investor websites are also checked, really daily. We check for updates to overlay matrices and post those on a daily basis as well.
Excellent. So always the most recent information right there at your fingertips. I love that you are able to go in and compare everything and then have it all right there, and then you can delete all of that information as you go through, and you can see, okay, who's left that I can actually talk to on those investor overlays. That really does help to narrow it down.
And our latest feature is our Jumbo Outlier tool, which you saw a little sample of. So, one thing that lenders have seen, I'm sure you guys have all run into it, is, you have Jumbo's kind of a unique animal of its own, and every investor has their own guidelines, and you think you have a pretty good idea on the basics, but there are some investors that kind of have a unique or tighter guideline in certain areas. So the outlier is kind of finding those unique variances and basically bringing them to the forefront so that you don't make a mistake and target your loan to someone that's not going to take it.
Right. Yeah. certainly save time and save money. So your goal is definitely achieved there. So thank you very much. Well, I'm not seeing, if you do have questions for Rhonda, please feel free to drop those in the chat. Rhonda, did you want to share that QR code again real quick, just so that people can grab that in the event they need it?
Absolutely. So this QR code is a way, if you wanted to set up a little short session to either ask questions or see more of the rule tool, you can scan that and schedule a time with us. And we're going to be happy to sit down and go over the rule tool with you. So, I mean, we know everybody's kind of trying to cut costs and look for ways to lower their cost to produce. The rule tool is a great way to do that. It's very affordable. And like I said, just the amount of questions that your staff will face will be reduced significantly by giving the people in your team the rule tool.
Excellent. The gift that keeps on giving.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate your time, Rhonda. Thank you so much. Thank you for being part of the Lightning Showcase. I really do appreciate you guys and the rule tool and all that you do for TMC and the Lender Network. So thank you very much. So now we have, I have the pleasure of announcing our very first $100 Amazon gift card winner. Andrew McElroy, American Federal Mortgage. You are the winner of our first $100 Amazon gift card for the Rule Tool presentation. Thank you so much for being part of the group. You have now, it has definitely paid off for you, and we are so thankful that you're here. Not only that, but you got to hear some amazing information about our preferred partner, the Rule Tool. So thank you very much to Rhonda. Congratulations, Andrew. And yay, Andrew. Awesome. And next up, we have, Rhonda, if you could stop sharing your screen, I would appreciate that. Thank you so very much.
I'll share.
Yep. Thank you. All right. Excellent. Well, onward and upward we go. We have the rule tool. Now we have iEmergent. iEmergent, and Bernard Nasuli, who is the COO of iEmergent, will be presenting Market Smart, using the past, present, and future to succeed in today's mortgage market. Looking forward to this presentation. Also, just so that you know, so now we have another $100 gift card that will be available at the end of this presentation. So please continue to stay on the line throughout the Lightning Showcase. Also want to remind you to drop those questions into the chat in the Q&A, and we will be asking those to Bernard at the end. Excellent. Thank you.
Happy holidays. This is Bernard Nasuli, COO at iEmergent. Now, 'tis the holiday season, but unlike Charles Dickens, we will not be looking at ghosts from Christmases past, present, and yet to come. Instead, we're going to be looking at data from your past, present, and future so that you can succeed in 2023 and beyond. What we're looking at right now is the future. This is the Seattle market with our forecast for 2023 by county. So if we look at King County or Pierce County, we can see that Pierce is going to be an $8.9 billion county. King is going to be a $29.8 billion county in 2023. Now that I know where the opportunity is, I want to make sure to get a little bit more granular. And so I'm looking at Seattle, but now I'm looking at it by census tracts. The blue census tracts indicate less opportunity. The red census tracts indicate more opportunity. And by opportunity, we're talking about 2023 purchase loans. So now I've identified the pockets of opportunity within those larger counties. And if we zoom in, we can start seeing those pockets. Okay, so as a lender, next I want to see my branches represented by these stars. Okay, and I can see how well I'm positioned relative to the opportunity in the future. And then finally, I want to start weaving in my present by showing where I have originated loans so far year to date. So each blue circle represents an actual originated purchase loan. And you can see that when I have the forecast, the locations, and the originations on the map at the same time, I can immediately see potential gaps in coverage. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let me show you. So for example, here we have a branch and we are originating loans kind of around the branch. But really, what I would do is sit down with this branch manager or loan officer who's sitting this branch and say, look, continue to originate loans right out over and close to the branch, but right to the left, to the west of the branch is a census tract where we're forecasting 323 purchase loans alone in 2023. So really, let's continue to originate loans around the branch, but let's focus our time, energy, and effort on the areas with the most opportunity. Okay. The other thing we can do with this information is potentially hire an additional loan officer or two and show that prospect that with tools like this, we're going to put them in the best position to succeed because we know where the opportunity is going to be. And then finally, we could potentially use this information to open another branch. Maybe say, hey, do we open a branch right inside this census tract? Maybe yes, maybe no. But the point is to have the information at your disposal in order to be able to make those decisions. Okay. Now let's continue with the present and look at, well, who are the top lenders in Seattle, in the Seattle market year to date? So this is 2021, 2022 year to date. And we can see that Caliber Home Loans, followed by KeyBank, Rocket, and Wells Fargo, and Fairway round out the top five. This is what they've done in the US so far. So Caliber has originated 26 billion or 78,000 loans. And this is what they've done in Seattle specifically. Caliber has done 2.6 billion, 4,800 loans. Okay, and the idea is that this is the most current or the most up-to-date market share information. Now, we could pivot this and say, well, great, I know who the top lenders are, but let's look at who the top loan officers are doing this business. And so now what I'm looking at is the individual loan officers doing the business. So I can see that Daniel Myers, number one, works for Academy and has done 367 million in terms of dollars overall and has done 329 million in Seattle specifically. Okay, what's important about this tool is that I can also decide whether or not to isolate and say, you know what, if I'm specifically focusing on low to moderate income business, I want to know how many loans those loan officers have done in LMI census tracts. So now I can see, again, here's Daniel Meyer. And as I scroll to the right, I can see he's done 458 total loans in Seattle, of which 74 are in low to moderate income census tracts, or basically 16% of Daniel's loans have been in low to moderate income census tracts. So if you're looking for a lift in LMI or for your LMI business, Daniel could be somebody good. He'd be definitely better than Ozzie Baker, who only does 6% of his loans in LMI census tracts. But you can notice that Oleg has almost 30% of his loans in LMI census tracts, and Rick Gosser has 31% of his loans in LMI census tracts. So they may move the needle much more in terms of recruiting. Speaking of recruiting, if you said, you know what, I want to talk to Rick, you can just click on Rick's name or an MLS number and hit refresh, see his production for the year, and you can see the property level production right here. Okay, and then you can say, hey, I want the contact info, so you can see his branch address, and then you can click on the NMLS ID here and fill out the CAPTCHA to get to his phone number of record. So here's his phone number of record, here who he works with, and where he's licensed. All within the system. You don't have to leave the system. Okay. All right. So in addition, so that's on the LO side. Let's stay with the present and go to who's been doing the most loans, who's had the most listings in terms of agents. So again, this is looking at year to date, starting in January 1st of 2022. And we can see who the top agents are. So for example, Tom Skipteris with Alchemy Real Estate has 158 listings overall, and all 158 happen to be in Seattle. So same thing here. Now you get to know who the top agents are, who the most active agents are. And I can also break this down by saying, well, who are the most active agents in majority minority census tracts, for example. And here I can, do the breakout by MMCT and be able to see that, hey, Tom Skipteris, he has 158 listings overall, and 40 of those are in majority minority census tracts, or basically 25% of Tom's listings are in MMCTs, which is fantastic, especially when you consider number 2, Ebrima, has 0 listings in majority minority census tracts. So again, this tool allows you to be very specific and very targeted about who you work with, who you're trying to make sure your referral sources are, depending on what kind of business you're going after. All right, and then finally, if we go back to the past, we can look at who the top lenders were in 2021. So staying with the past, we say this is the HMDA data from 2021. There were 521 lenders in Seattle in 2021. Caliber was number 1. They did 4.3 billion or 7,700 loans. But what's nice about this table is that it's dynamic. So this is for all purchase, but if I wanted to, I could say, well, who's the top lender to Hispanic borrowers in 2021? Well, that's still Caliber with 481 loans. Or who is the top lender to African American borrowers? Caliber with 374 or 168 million. And then we can also look at it by race and ethnicity, but by loan type. So who is the top FHA lender in Seattle? That was Fairway Independent with 846. And finally, who is the top lender to low to moderate income census tracts in 2021? And again, that was Caliber at 702. So don't be Scrooged. Use information from the past, present, and future to have a very happy new year in 2023. Happy holidays.
I love that. Don't be Scrooged. Thank you so much, Bernard. That was awesome. Past, present, and future. That's what a great comparison to the mortgage industry and using the data effectively. Thank you so much for the information. I did not see anybody in the chat. If you do have questions for Bernard, please drop them now. And Bernard, is there anything else that you'd like to say in closing for your Lightning Showcase presentation?
No, I was just going to suggest if you're interested in getting a demo, just make sure to go to emergent.com, click on the request a demo, and we can arrange for a short conversation so that you can learn more.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. And thank you for all that you guys do for the Mortgage Collaborative. We really appreciate iEmergent and our longstanding partnership with you. So thank you for being part of 12 Days of TMC. And the second winner of the $100 Amazon gift card is Chelsea Davis from Western Ohio Mortgage. Congratulations, Chelsea. You have won a $100 gift card just for being present at the Lightning Showcase. So thank you very much for your time today. And we will now switch over to Optimize. We have Tycho Rosenfeld and Dave Olchek with us today. Hi, guys. How are y'all?
Hi, Tony. Hi, everyone.
Excellent. And we've got streamlining and cost savings. You've got everyone's attention now. The tech in the educational compliance. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to you guys.
Great. Thank you, Tony. I'm the president of Optimize/mortgageeducation.com. And I wanted to talk about educational compliance and technology very quickly. Then I'll go through an intro video of our company, and we'll have some testimonials also in video form. Educational compliance is something that just has to be done every year. And lenders, like humans, we just want to get it done wherever we can and get it over with and do our real business. Let's do some loans. But there turns out there's other costs and other questions. Some of that education is redundant, doesn't all need to be done. There's costs in the compliance department for managing it and tracking it. When an auditor comes in, it's costly to prepare everything necessary for that auditor. We have a technology that's been helped and designed and pushed on by our compliance officer clients. And the technology makes sure that we can cut costs out of that whole equation, that we can save time from their processes and prepare things even better, guarantee compliance and make it better for auditors when they come in and ask questions. I'd like to, let's run the introductory video now, Tom. Go from there.
Whether you are cutting costs, optimizing your time, or improving your compliance infrastructure, our software and product suite, built through years of collaboration with compliance managers in the mortgage industry, directly addresses your needs. Consolidate vendors, guarantee compliance, and increase productivity by eliminating redundant training. Reduce MLO downtime by using actionable insights to drastically increase pass rates. Save time and ensure compliance with real-time tracking of training and policy and procedures acknowledgement. A self-driven system for assigning courses and notifying employees, and a tool set for providing lightning-quick responses to auditor requests, helping businesses focus on business. Optimize. Whether you are cutting costs,
Great. So you've heard it from us. Why not from your peers as well? Tom, let's see the testimonials video.
We are a culture of compliance. Mortgage education does in fact help us to maintain that core value.
Love the company, the customer service is great.
They have been absolutely amazing. I could not be any happier with our partnership.
A value add to our organization, and will continue to be a value add to INPAC in the consumer direct channel.
As you know, loan officers love less training. My compliance department loves guarantee compliance. Everyone loves the technology behind it.
We're so happy to have them as a partner and couldn't imagine working with anyone else.
It has been great working and pairing with them to really solve a problem that's been out there for over 10 years.
So for anyone out there who is currently not working with mortgageeducation.com, what are you waiting for?
So my message is simple, and I think the clients, as heartwarming as it is also to hear them, said it as well. You have to do this every year. Why not do it for less? Why not make it better? That's what we have, How you plan creating it. That's the end of our presentation.
Now, let me add a couple of things, Tycho.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I think Dave has some things to say as well.
We have an award program.
You would think he'd remember who I was.
Dave always has a few things to say, so let's hear them.
Well, no, I just do want to sum it up, but there's some key takeaways. In this challenging environment, cost, number one. Everybody's got bigger priorities than trying to change into new systems, bringing on new solutions. A lot of vendors are having tough times too, because we have to go status quo while people are going through this really hard time. Our ease of implementation, we have no integration. It's a freestanding system. We have taken companies and in 2 days got them fully compliant, staff full with compliance courses and loan officers with their compliance courses. Here's the trick behind the product. As you launch compliance courses, if they're a loan officer, they accrue as they do, let's say fair lending, AML, fraud, those hours accrue towards their CE. In other words, it's a cross-certified course that's modularized. So you can launch these normal compliance pieces. Let's say you launch 3 a quarter, by the end of the 3rd quarter, your loan officers already did their 7-hour CE. They might not even know that. So what did we do? We effectively saved the cost of duplicative training. You don't have to worry about that. The system streamlines the process completely, which makes it super easy. Too many companies are tracking all these things on spreadsheets. We can print the audit certificates instantly, and we're getting requests constantly for the audit certificates from the various regulators and from the warehouse banks and from the investors. They're all looking at making sure you have a training procedure in place. We can also track your policies and procedures that people can accept and agree to. You load them yourself. It's your policies, your company policies and procedures. Now you have that tracked, because that is, again, being asked for. That's a new feature that we just added. And basically, that's the big things I wanted to state. I will say that we are going to be doing a demo. We'd like to do private demo, 10-minute presentation of the actual software with a key person that's in the decision-making area or a leader. 10 minutes, maybe 10 minutes for questions. And if anybody attends, my email was just popped up there in the chat, we will give a free set of earbuds for just taking the demo with us. We're that confident in the product and the savings you'll have, and I think the testimony will speak to that.
Excellent. Thanks so much. And we do have a question that came from the audience. Do you pick your own course, or is it automatically assigned?
Yeah, the courses, you can pick your own courses from our catalog. Now, we have a very good knowledge of what is being asked for from most lenders. Things we do not specialize in, we will actually pass off to other TMC partners that might have it. Ours is basically the functions of what is required regulation-wise for CFPB, state auditors, and continuing education from the NMLS. So when it comes to the NMLS courses, obviously not. Those modules are set by the NMLS. We have them attorney reviewed by one of the law firms from TMC family. They review all our materials, and we have them obviously approved from the NMLS, and our COO is actually on a couple of the working groups with the NMLS.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. So Optimize and mortgageeducation.com. Appreciate your time today and all that you also do for the Mortgage Collaborative. And if you do have any questions, reach out to Dave Olczyk. The information is in the chat, and you can click there and get some more free stuff. So if you don't win a $100 gift card, you can get some free earbuds. So thank you so much, Dave, for that. And speaking of free things, we have our third winner. Our third winner is Emily Bartlett. Emily is from Landmark National Bank. So Emily, thank you so much for being part of the Lightning Showcase audience today. We really appreciate it. And you have won a $100 gift card to Amazon. And let's see. Yep, and free earbuds for scheduling a demo. Thank you guys so very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Next up, we have True. True is brought to you today by Bob Noble and Devin Daly, and they are powering the, Trapeze by True, data intelligence for fast loan decisioning. Hey guys, how are you?
Doing well, Tony. Thank you.
Excellent.
Thanks everybody for attending today. I know it's difficult to make time. So I'm Devin Daly. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer here at True. And standing in for Bob Noble is my colleague, Jeff Hennon. Together, we're going to demonstrate our industry-leading artificial intelligence that powers all of our lending intelligence solutions. Just before we do this, I just want to talk for a minute about True and the challenges that we solve, the lending challenges. So we've spent close to a decade refining our artificial intelligence to understand the language of mortgage lending. And this is absolutely our core value proposition, because every document, every data point, all of our analysis and verifications are done with AI that's trained solely to think like a mortgage professional. And we call this lending intelligence. And so you might ask yourself, how do we do it, right? Our AI-powered solutions interpret the data like a human without relying on humans. We use the mortgage context, things that we call contextualized classifiers that are trained especially for the language of mortgage lending. Our machine learning models compare those documents to data, they understand images, they classify and extract data from documents correctly and rapidly. Our customers and partners continue to remind us that we deliver truly transformative results, and you can see some of the stats. When we recently rebranded from SoftWorks AI, True became the narrative very quickly. With no human in the loop, our solutions continually deliver previously unimaginable results. 99% data accuracy, 85% reduction in manual reviews, and 300% faster decisioning. So our clients, including Rocket and Carrington and others, use True daily. And about 2/3 of the mortgage insurers rely on our capabilities to drive rapid decisions, including ArchMI and MGIC. So we're about to show you the most robust, intelligent, and proven docs to data technology in the industry today. And as Tony said, we call this trapeze. First, though, if there's time at the end of the demo, we're going to answer questions. But you can also learn more by visiting true.ai. So with that, Jeff, let's see True in action.
Absolutely. Thank you, Devin. So now what I'm sharing on screen is not a video. This is a live demonstration environment of the Trapeze platform. Now, this platform is typically used by our customers to handle exceptions. That is, items that are outside the scope or maybe low quality documents that couldn't be captured by the AI. But this exception handling engine also works really well for me to break down the process to its three major components. And that is the doc classification, document versioning, and data extraction. And each step builds on one another. So first, let's take a look at some of our document classification capabilities. What we see on our screen right now is a loan file package I submitted that had 107 doc pages. Now, of those 107 pages of that PDF I submitted, the system identified 29 separate documents. Now, that includes a 5-page closing disclosure, a 3-page note, and a 1-page flood cert. Now, there's a lot of things that we can do with the documents and its classification. Now, what you see on the left is our bookmark indices, and they're currently displayed in the file order from page 1 to 107. So the page 1 through 5 is this closing disclosure, and you can see there is the index and the documents there. Now, when we perfect the document and classify it, we could provide back a 107-page PDF that's indexed and bookmarked, or we could split it out to 29 separate individual documents of varying pages based on each individually identified document. Now, when Devin mentioned earlier our contextual classifier, it's a very powerful tool that allows us to apply this technology even if we encounter documents we haven't pre-trained on. So a closing disclosure is going to be industry standard. It's always going to have this similar shape and format, although I have seen subtle variations across lenders. Documents like notes, 1008 and 1003, they're much more structured, same as the 1004 appraisal or even standard tax forms like a Form 1040. But when it comes to documents, let's say like a pay stub, here's one for a customer that works for Health Pro Heritage. Here's another pay stub for a customer that works for McGraw-Hill. They handle all the textbooks. We didn't have to train our system on each individual pay stub to identify it and then downstream extract information. Because it contains that similar shape, it contains that similar information like the customer address, the rate, the hours, the amount, the year to date. These keywords and phrases are what's being built so the classifier is confident it is identifying the document correctly. Now, just like that with bank statements, here it identified a statement for Chase Bank, but we didn't just go out and memorize the top 5 or top 10 national banks. You could submit a statement from a local community bank or credit union, and as long as it contains a predominantly similar format as they tend to do with balances, account numbers, terms like checking or savings, the system is going to build that confidence in identifying that document. So again, a lot of effort without pre-training. And I think another great example here for this demonstration, here's a credit inquiry explanation that it's very typical for underwriters to ask for this letter of explanation from customers regarding their recent credit inquiries. Now, this document looks like it was made in Microsoft Word in about 5 minutes, lists the individual trade lines. It says that it was the subject loan or shopping and a section for the customer to sign. This document is wholly unique to one loan transaction, but based on the prior learnings and the processing power of the AI, the system is very confident that yes, this is a letter of explanation provided by the customer. So that's just a great example of the power of our contextual classifier that again reads the documents like a human. Going on from doc classification, we have our versioning, or as I like to refer to it, our auto versioning capabilities. And that same file we just looked at, there were more than one closing disclosures in the file. So with that, as we ran it, it's going to look at certain key information. Like on the first closing disclosure identified, it had an issue date of 9/16/2019. And the other version was issued on 9/18/2019, both listing a closing date of 9/18. Now, the system can check for other things like the presence of signatures and dates and other key data points, but all things being equal, it looked at these two closing disclosures and called this one the initial or the first one, and then this version, the final version. This is very powerful for our customers because for certain key documents like the closing disclosure, they want to run data extraction and process the information on specifically that final version that was closed. They may want information from an earlier version, but the final version, like the final application, the final credit report, it's going to have the more applicable information for that data extraction. And again, speaking about the data extraction, here's an example of an ADP pay stub where we extracted multiple data points across the document. So we can see we have the pay period beginning, the period ending, the pay date. And you'll notice as I click through these fields where the extracted data lies, it is putting a bounding box around the source of the data in the viewer. This is for ease of review and quality control. So when I click here for the customer name, you see Alyssa K. Mills. It also parses out her first, middle, and last name, customer address, city, state, zip code. It's only giving me those bounding boxes for me to verify that information. It's not zeroing in on those coordinates. And I'll show you what I mean. I'll show a different pay stub. This one for a customer I believe works for Satellite Healthcare. And you'll see that information like the customer information and their address is in a different geographic position. The period beginning and period ending, and in fact, aren't even labeled the same. It's labeled period start date and period end date, but our system is smart enough to know those are analogous terms, and that's where the source of the information should come from. And again, the employer information in a different geographic location, but no problem extracting that information. You can see we capture information like the gross pay, the year to date, and you can see there's this table here. We captured a year to date bonus field. There is no single data point that matches the extracted information of 61, 118, 14. It's actually doing a summation of this line item bonus and this performance bonus. Now I could put on my underwriter hat and say, hey, we could include this gift card amount for 135.96, but it was looking specifically for those bonus keyword terms in this configuration. And that's why it's highlighted in pink. It wanted me to validate that information. Devin, I want to leave some time to open this up for questions.
Yeah, I know we're at time. Thanks, Jeff. Great job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Jeff. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, that is amazing. It is incredible all that you guys can do with that imaging software. Devin, is there anything else that you would like to say? I don't see any questions. Anything else that you would like to say to the audience?
Yeah, thank you very much for attending today, folks, and definitely visit us at true.ai, and we'd love to have a conversation with you about how we can impact your business. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Yes, Sarah dropped the information to reach out to True in the chat, so please definitely do that. And our fourth winner for the $100 gift card is Miles Fujimoto. Hi, Miles. Thank you so much for being here. Miles is with Finance Factors and is in the lovely state of Hawaii, and we all wish we were there. But thank you so much for being here, and congratulations on winning the $100 gift card. And finally, we have one more presentation for you today. Really do appreciate all of your time and your attention. We have our partners at SnapDocs, and SnapDocs is going to be talking about powering the perfect closing by SnapDocs. John Ataski is going to give us this information. And John, I am going to turn it over to you. Thanks so much.
Excellent. Thanks, Tony, and thanks everybody for sticking around for the last demo here. So just want to orient you to SnapDocs, right? You can see here the scale that our platform has across the market for digital closings. And we've continued to build upon these numbers, as you can see on the left-hand side from this year's Stratmore Group findings, right? So we have over 150 lenders scaling with the SnapDocs solution, over 70,000 settlement agents actively using the SnapDocs platform on behalf of lenders. You'll see 170,000 notaries have operated within the SnapDocs notary service and working along settlement and title partners as well. And then at the bottom, just our reputation, right? We're the number one market share in e-closings broadly, as well as number one in lender satisfaction and lender loyalty. So on the lender side of the house, our white glove service of implementation, but also customer support down the road has led to our lender partnerships succeeding and scaling with eClose. So we want your team to optimize our ability to draw up a solution design with you as we work through tailoring our process, right? And maximizing your LOS integration, keeping your closers in their LOS, and working to develop our product roadmap, right? So we'll work alongside your team, meeting your goals of scaling and hitting those adoption benchmarks, because again, this is where we see lender clients truly benefit from the one process for all closings that SnapDocs provides, from wet to RON. So additionally, our eClose solution with our dedicated implementation team and customer support fills that void of title adoption. As we know, it can be a challenge moving into a world of eClose. So all things considered, an eClose solution is a technology that brings value at scale. Making the investment as an organization to invest in an eClose solution and not having a digital closing partner that will help you scale post-implementation does not ensure success, right? We're not able to reap those benefits. So again, just wanted to orient you all here at SnapDocs. We have a proven track record with successfully scaling e-closing for our lender partners. So what I want to show you today is a borrower and settlement experience, right? So as that loan package would come out of your team's LOS, it's directly going to be and automatically processed and transferred into the SnapDocs platform, right? You can see here what would be a white labeled email for our borrower, giving them next steps, right? What they'd have to review and what would be coming up down the road. So we'll get into that there shortly. But what I'd like to do is orient you as well to the settlement experience, right? So at first, we have somebody here, Charlie Closer, who's receiving their hybrid closing request from what would be a member of your team, right? They're given 4 easy steps here, ensuring that they have the right information, they've got the right process, right? Adding additional out-of-the-box services on behalf of your lender. And then here we have the closing details for the signer themselves as well. And this signing date I pre-populated, but your settlement agents are going to be able to go in to their SnapDocs dashboard. They're going to authenticate, as I will do here. And I do apologize if you hear a crying puppy in the background. It's day 3 here. So we're still working on that. All right, so we're going to log in. For the purposes of the demo, I'm going to use a whisper code, but your settlement agent is never going to have to remember a password. We're going to use the source of truth from your team in order to make contact with your settlement and title partners, right? So you can see here the settlement agent would have the opportunity to edit this appointment. I've set it up for 2 p.m. Eastern time today and added a signing location. Again, they'd have the opportunity to make changes here. On the right-hand side, you can see the queue, the activity log that's coming up for our borrower, Sally. She's been notified to review her documents, as you saw that other white labeled email. The settlement agent can request a notary. We have an e-sign status, right, for our hybrid package. We also have access to those loan documents. As you can see on the right-hand side, JBA demo would be your team, your company. I have added Larry Lender in addition to myself. And on the settlement side, if we want to add an additional closing, say Charlie's going to be out of office this afternoon for an ad hoc appointment, we can certainly add Stanley. Okay, on the bottom right-hand, or excuse me, at the bottom here, we also provide an audit trail, right? So everything is tracked. There's a record of actions taken by both settlement, lender, and borrower. So let's jump back into the signing experience. Our borrower is going to authenticate, multi-factor authenticate, right, into their signing, their preview, excuse me, and signing experience. Again, for the purposes of this demo, we're doing a whisper code, but they would not be issued a whisper code. As this platform loads for the borrower, you can see here they are queued going through their IRLA and all other documents for their package. They're going to scroll through, ensuring that they don't have any questions, there's no misspellings, or if they have any questions, they can simply come up here to the message box and add a message to the closing team. And this can be configured to send to your lending team as well. They can even say, looks good to me, looking forward to getting the keys. We'll keep it simple for the demo. Okay, so Sally sent a message there. She wants to e-sign her non-critical documents. As this loads, Sally is going to authenticate. You can see our partnership with DocuSign, right? It's a very easy to use intuitive UI for our borrowers. So she's going to go ahead and start, add her John Hancock. She's going to adopt and sign. Again, going through her non-criticals and finish. So with a few clicks of a button, Sally has signed her documents and she's ready to move to the next step in the process, right? We've got her borrower date and time for final signing here for her note, and she can return to a dashboard. We also have a tell us about your experience button for your team, right? You can input a survey here. And one of the things I wanted to point out with SnapDocs is we see on average for a best client experience, an average improvement of 10 NPS points with SnapDocs closing versus non-SnapDocs closing across our clients. So the borrowers really tout and best rank SnapDocs experience for convenience, satisfaction, and that we get it right the first time. So she's reviewed her closing documents, she's e-signed her non-critical closing documents, and she has her next steps here in her dashboard. Perhaps if the closing team had responded, she'd have a message here. She can send additional messages, etc., etc. So since Sally has signed, what we want to see here, if I refresh our settlement dashboard, Okay, our activity log has been updated, right? Sally's reviewed her closing docs. She's completed e-signing her non-criticals. And the last thing that we'd have to do here from the settlement perspective is download that wet sign package and get ready, right? We're going to get ready to meet Sally at 2 o'clock here at the top of the hour and get the signing done. So we have a QR code here, right? Say if Sally didn't sign her and preview her non-critical e-documents. At the front of our wet signed package, SnapDocs generates a QR code, so you can simply get that done at the signing table with a cell phone or a tablet to ensure we can get that process done. So let's assume Sally has gone through and she's updated. She's got her preview and her signatures. If we go back, we're going to drop in our signed documents. We're going to open that in there. Oops, I clicked David Green. So say, actually, this might be a good use case here. Say we accidentally uploaded the wrong closing package. And we're going to send the documents to the lender. The SnapDocs quality control is in progress. So what we're going to ensure is that the correct, there's the correct amount of pages. In this case, if it's not a missing signature and it's the wrong signature or the wrong initials, or perhaps there isn't a notary stamp, our QC automated AI layer is going to ensure that is flagged. And it's going to tell us that there's either a missing document, there's multiple errors, there's a missing signature, or a missing date. So say this process went smoothly, right? That loan package would be auto e-foldered back into your LOS. And at the end of the day, Sally would complete her signing appointment and we'd be in the green. Excellent. Tony, that's really the process from a SnapDocs perspective. And I'm going to drop in in the chat here momentarily, just some info that you can reach out to Mary Solomon here at SnapDocs or a member advocate, your TMC point of contact. But also feel free to visit this link while we're here and bookmark that for your reference. Thanks so much.
Excellent. Thank you so much, John. Thank you for your presentation. Thank you for all that SnapDocs does for the Mortgage Collaborative. We're so thankful that you guys are part of our preferred partner network. And once again, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining us for the Lightning Showcase. I know we do still have one more winner left, so stay on the edge of your seat, folks. Just want to let you know what we've got coming up next. We've got Jerry Howard, who is the, sorry, I'm off my agenda here. We've got Jerry Howard, who is the president and CEO of NAHB. And then we've got how to overcome call reluctance and achieve better sales results with our very own Stacy Wider. And last up today, we've got best practices for mitigating buyback requests and winning repurchase fights with James Brody, Esquire. So thank you guys so much for being here. And our very last winner for today is Margot Tappy from Three Rivers Federal Credit Union. Thank you so much, Margot, for being here. Thank you all. We've got more Lightning Showcases next week on Tuesday and Thursday. Be sure to check out the agenda. I've seen some questions about how best to get the most out of the 12 days of TMC, and that is to check out the agenda, add those to your calendar, and join us every day. We really do appreciate you being here, and happy 12 days of TMC. Thank you. Appreciate it. Bye-bye.